Most people use AI for generic advice and then wonder why they're not making any more money, getting results, or seeing progress. But what if you could chain prompts together to get 10x better answers, brainstorming real business ideas and strategies that could actually work, all in under 10 minutes? I recently shared this exact prompt chain method in a community, and here's what happened. Nadine said it took me 5 minutes to test it out, and the result is mind blowing. Kevin said, I used your framework around my niche, which is hospital to home care. And in one pass, he got a clear offer, a simple channel, and a 90-day plan. And the beauty is he can now use this exact prompt outputs as his test lab. Okay. Linda said, this is very clarifying. And even ChatGPT came up with new resources to understand her market that she didn't even know existed. Cynthia says, all the stress and worry regarding my financial uncertainty evaporated after running this prompt chain. In this tutorial, I'll give you the exact prompt chain to run in the same AI chat. You'll get one business idea, not multiple confusing options, one mentor to study and the key principle that you should adopt from that mentor, one 90-day launch plan, and it's especially tailored if you have zero audience or distribution today. And then I'll show you the intermediate level prompt that helps you test if you can actually sell your offer, as well as the advanced level prompt that uncovers your biggest mindset block. This is a strategic money conversation with AI that we're going to have. But first, if you don't know me, my name's Sabrina Ramanov. I previously built and sold an AI company for millions of dollars, and now I teach millions of people how to use AI for free. Make sure you hit like and subscribe to my channel. All right, let's begin. Now, before running the very first prompt, it's important that ChatGPT has some context and awareness of who you are. What's your business today, if you have one? What's your resume? What are your skills? What are the areas you're interested in? I previously did another tutorial that walks through teaching ChatGPT about yourself and building it as your AI second brain and trusted AI sparring partner. I recommend going through this first if you have not given ChatGPT a lot of your context, or if you're short on time, you can copy paste this simple prompt and fill out these fields here that are in brackets, right? So you put your background, your top skills, your interest area, how much time you have available for a week, and your vague goal. You don't have to necessarily know this in super detail, but if you know you want an income stream that allows you to work remotely, okay, then you might want to prove that. If you're really passionate about helping people improve their health, then you can put that here, okay? So if you don't have time to walk through this full tutorial to teach ChatGPT about yourself, just copy paste this prompt, fill these values in, and that will kickstart a new conversation with a bit of context so ChatGPT knows about you. The next step is within that same AI conversation, and it really doesn't matter if you use ChatGPT, Claude, DeepSeek, or Gemini. I'm just going to say ChatGPT since that's what I'm using in this tutorial, but it's really important that when we run the prompts, we're using this exact same conversation. So for my use case, I'm going to delete this because ChatGPT already knows about me. And what we're going to do now is start our prompt chain. I call it a prompt chain because each prompt builds upon the previous answer. You're going deeper and deeper, diving into the same exploratory topic, and you get momentum as you go deeper and deeper. So here's the very first prompt that you want to copy paste into ChatGPT. Based on everything you know about me, what is the fastest way for me to make, let's say, $1 million? Limit to one offer and one channel. This part is really important because normally every AI model you ask this question to will just give you a potpourri of different business models and different ideas and go on 5 different channels just at the beginning. It's honestly terrible advice and very overwhelming. I'm a big fan of simplifying as much as possible, simplifying your funnel, simplifying your offer, and just sticking to one channel to start with until you get traction on that channel. So go ahead and type this into ChatGPT. Remember to either start a new conversation where ChatGPT already knows about you because it's in your project, or make sure you ran that prerequisite prompt I just showed you so ChatGPT knows about you. Okay, you're just going to type it in here and then fill out this income goal and press enter. Here's ChatGPT's answer for me. So done for you content engine for influencers and founders, charging $25K upfront with a clear scope. Deliverables, why this offer? I already have authority in AI content. My results are public. The value is clear because clients gain time and distribution. Target is creators with over 300,000 followers who are leaving money. And my target is creators with over 300,000 followers who are leaving money on the table. And I only need 40 clients at $25,000 per client to reach $1 million. So you're going to get an answer like this. Now, if you disagree with the offer, for example, in my case, if ChatGPT didn't know anything about me, it would probably recommend I sell AI courses, which is not something I want to do as part of my brand. So if it had told me that, I could reply and say, one of my constraints is I don't want to do this. But if you're pretty happy with the answer so far, then proceed to the next step. You can also stop here and ask why. Like, why did you choose this particular path instead of something else? So here, for example, I asked that given my existing audience, I'm surprised you didn't tell me to sell courses or launch a school community. Why did you choose this particular done-for-you offer for creators with over 300,000 followers? And ChatGPT said, you reach 1 million faster with fewer moving parts when revenue per customer is high. Courses and communities work, but the math is slower. Whereas a high-ticket done-for-you offer priced at $25,000 per person, I only need to convince 40 influencers or founders, that this would be worth it. And my reputation makes the offer credible. The problem is urgent. Founders want distribution and time savings now. The shortest path to 1 million pairs your authority with a premium offer that delivers a clear outcome. So the point I'm trying to make here is it's okay to have that back and forth conversation with ChatGPT and fine tune and ask questions and probe and push back. And then when you're kind of ready with the offer you guys have brainstormed, proceed to the next prompt. So the next prompt, number 2, is who is the number one person I should learn from to succeed? So what we're doing here is we've taken our offer from the first part, and now we're saying, okay, who should be my mentor? In my case, it's Alex Hormozy because he teaches offers, pricing, and distribution, and his focus on value creation and simple math helps me grow faster. His specific frameworks apply to digital products and education businesses, which is what the offer here is. If you don't like the initial person that was brainstormed, you can just ask ChatGPT, okay, who are 2 more people? Okay, then check out the 3 people that ChatGPT has brainstormed and choose the one that you think would be the best fit to learn from. Now, the third prompt builds upon the previous 2 answers. So pretend you are that person. Create a very simple 90-day action plan that needs less than $1,000 upfront and has a 95% chance of success. And this is really important, this last section, gets me to my first paying customer ASAP. That last phrase is incredibly important because without that, ChatGPT is going to generate this really fancy looking 90-day plan. It's like phase 1, 30 days, validation. Phase 2, actually go to markets. But you really want to get to your first paying customer as fast as possible because it gives you that boost of energy and momentum and conviction to keep going. And so this is really, really important. You do not want a 90-day plan that's like, oh, let's just spend the first 30 days brainstorming and preparing. You don't want that. You want to get to your first paying customer as soon as possible. So here's where I put it, and here's ChatGPT's answer. So my goal is to close my first client fast, then use proof to close 2 more in the same quarter, in the same 90 days. Budget under 1K, I just need a landing page, some like screen recording tool, a scheduling tool for demos, and basic CRM. So this phase is days 1 through 7. So we're not doing like a 30-day plan here. In days 1 through 7, by the end of that first week, I'm already sending personalized videos to qualified leads. Each video shows a custom repurposed clip of their content and the CTA. Days 8 to 30 is just keep going, like keep making content about this, behind the scenes of building out the system, simple transformations, live audit per week where you fix someone's workflow. This is a really neat idea. So we're already assuming I've closed my first client in that first 30 days. Here are all 3 prompts on the same screen, so you can take a screenshot of this and remember to go in order, and it's totally okay at each step to push back, ask clarifying questions from ChatGPT. Why did you choose this? Why did you recommend this? What about this? Have that constructive dialogue back and forth after the end of each prompt, and then proceed to the next prompt once you're happy with the previous step. Now let's move on to the intermediate level prompt. Okay, your first 10 customers are the only market research that matters. What others did to acquire their first 10 customers is a hypothesis, but what you can get someone to pay for is the truth. So the following intermediate level prompt helps you answer the question, can I sell it? act as Alex Hormozy. The reason why I put him here is not because he would be my advisor. It's because he's really awesome with go-to-market distribution and strategy for early stage startups and entrepreneurs. I have no audience or distribution. Obviously, you can change this if you are an influencer or you are already in business and you have a little bit of distribution. My goal is to get one hell yes or paid commitment ASAP. What are 3 specific, easy to run tests I can do this week to validate that real people will pay me? Each test should cost under $50 and less than fewer hours to set up. If you have any strong preferences, you can insert them here. And if you have any strong constraints, you can set them here. So what do I mean by constraints? For example, let's say you're a health and wellness coach and you don't want to do anything related to selling supplements, just as an example. Okay, so you can put that constraint there. In my case, I am an AI education influencer, but I personally don't want to sell courses or do a paid community. So that would be an example of my constraints. Drop that prompt into ChatGPT, just like this, and then you'll see the tests written out in order. So test number 1, problem validation calls. Post in 3 targeted communities offering a free 10-minute workflow audit, which is pretty cool. Ask about their current workflow, cost, and pain intensity. And then at the end, if I built a done-for-you system that gave you daily content without hiring, would you pay $25,000 to set it up, right? This is the first test I'd run. Test 2 is a paid micro pilot. Offer one channel repurposed for $500 as a paid micro test. So instead of trying to sell the full package, $25K, we're going to do a micro test of $500. And you could kind of combine these, right? Let's say they say no to this, that's too expensive. And then you could offer a paid micro test instead. Test number 3, direct outreach with proof. Take a creator's existing clip, repurpose it, send a video, and then ask, do you want this done daily for you? Track response from 20 outreaches. This is actually a really great idea. I don't know why I don't currently do this for my own app. So this is the intermediate level prompt. If you're a beginner, you can try this as well. Just keep in mind, you'll get more tailored answers if you fill in some of your preferences and if you fill in some of your constraints. Here's the final prompt. It's the next level bonus prompt. If you're pretty new to ChatGPT and AI, you don't have to go this far. You can just stick to the 3 prompts that I initially showed you, and you're going to get a ton of value out of those and focusing on those. But for those of you who are pretty comfortable with ChatGPT and AI, this is a really, really fun, enlightening prompt. It's the next level bonus prompt. The reason for this prompt is in many cases, I've found that the actual steps to succeed in a particular path are often well defined and proven by many other people who have walked down that path. But one of the biggest obstacles, like truly preventing people from succeeding, is their own mindset. And I'm not a mindset guru, okay? But even when I first started making contents, I felt all the negative things. I felt imposter syndrome. I second guessed myself. I had doubts whether I could add anything that was valuable or new to the existing AI education community. I worried about how I looked, my insecurities, how I sounded. Would my friends see? Would my family see? Would really successful entrepreneurs see and judge me in a certain way? Like, I cared about all of these things in my mind. And I know a lot of other people do too. So I gave examples specific to content creation, but whatever path you end up going down, more often than not, I see people quit way too early before giving themselves the time to let their wins and success compound over time. So this bonus prompt says, I'm stuck at the starting line. Acting as my entrepreneur coach, ask me questions one at a time until you can successfully diagnose the one mindset block most likely holding me back. Then reframe it, and finally compress my 90-day plan into a 2-week proof sprint that proves I can succeed. This step is also really important because what I've found in teaching and talking to a lot of folks is that if you can get a small win as early as possible, you're much more likely to keep going for an extended period of time. So type this into ChatGPT. So I already did it here. Okay. And the first question it asked me is, when you think about sending the first outreach message, asking someone to pay, what emotion shows up first? I said fear. Okay. It said fear of what specifically? Fear they will say no, fear they will say yes. I said, fear they say no. When you picture them saying no, what does your brain make that no mean about you? Pick the closest. This was really, really hard to pick. So I said all of the above, right? What does a no rejection mean? Especially if you don't have a background in sales, okay? Many people are still quite sensitive to rejection, even if it's in a business context, right? So in this case, I said all of the above. No means I'm not good enough. I'm not ready. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm an imposter and they won't respect me. And now ChatGPT said, okay, that cluster signals the same root block. Your brain is tying business validation to personal validation. It's just spot on. If they say no, if the customer says no, my brain interprets it as I'm being judged rather than like my specific offer is being judged. That is the mindset block. And so the reframe here is the no is not about you. The no is feedback about my particular messaging or my offer or my product. It's not personal at all. And at this stage, all we're doing is data collection. Every no is just data. And so I love, love, love this exercise. Honestly, this prompt alone is really fun to do once in a while, and it doesn't have to be in a money related context.